Hello everybody, I am Silph and this is the Battle Network. We're down here in Studio B to take a look at the Silph Season 2 Factions meta of Catacombs. We've seen Catacombs pop up in Silph numerous amounts of times, all the way back from Season 2 of Silph. So we are glad to see this meta is coming back because there's so many new Pokemon, so many amazing, great, fun, wonderful Pokemon that Froslass can just come in and hardwall because she is still the queen of this meta. Froslass is queen and core of this meta, rocking that Avalanche and Shadow Ball. She is still one of the top 10 on PV Poke for you for this meta, and you should be looking into her immediately. We learned about Froslass in Catacomb Season 2 of Silph back in 2020. We got our first understanding of what Froslass can do. This is where we learned that Froslass with energy anytime can beat any meta. Froslass with one extra tap can beat anything. That's it. That's it. That's all you gotta know. So in this meta here, Froslass still dominant. Now, there are typings out there you gotta watch out for. Rock typing, dark typing. In the top few Pokemon, Barbaracle, one of your hard walls. Umbreon, forget about it. In Sudowoodo, another wall. Like those three right there, out of the top 10 are what you'll have to look out for. But besides that, Barbaracle and Sudowoodo have to give up shields, and Umbreon's the only thing that is a wall. You can still play around with Froslass. The beautiful meta out there, and you can absolutely love it when you learn how to play with this Pokemon. Now, out of the top 10 that are up right now, as of today, you've got Mandibuzz as a loss or a win for Froslass. It loses to Froslass. That's what it does. So, things that lose to Froslass. Mandibuzz. You can always play that Air Slash or Snarl look too. So if you're a little worried about Mandibuzz, you don't think it has Snarl or it does have Air Slash, like sit Froslass on the bench, wait for Mandibuzz to reveal whether it's Snarl and Air Slash, or go into it and don't worry about it. All in all, Air Slash feels super comfortable, Snarl not so great. Samurott, Grimer, Skunk Tank, Beedrill, and your Cast Form. Those are the 6 out of the top 10 that win. So out of the 6 that you win and the 3 that you lose, the only thing you're even to is Froslass. So Froslass dominates the top 10 and down below. So beautiful Pokemon there, and you can even in this meta. So when I say this meta, I mean like faction cycle. In this cycle, you can swap out in between matchups. So after your first matchup, you guys do your factions battle and you play another team. Your next matchup, your Froslass could rock Crunch. If you felt like Shadow Ball was the hindrance, you can play around with move sets galore here. And Froslass doesn't have that big of a play, but if you're finding yourself where your opponents are just mirroring you with Froslasses, then by all means, put on that Crunch, get that debuff faster. Like, it's such a great, could be surprise. Again, you're playing in a factions matchup where your object is to get a point for your team. If having Crunch will surprise your opponent to give you that win off of their Froslass and get you that 1 point, that's a great win right there. Then you can play around that. Team building, all sorts of things. Wonderful Pokemon to have out there. Now, you want to pair Froslass with some things. Even though there are, not that much that beats Froslass, Froslass still loses to the Umbreon. So you want to get yourself a counter Sudowoodo. That's a good one to put up there. Counter's a great move set. But I found a better fighter out there for you. And I tell you now, you're going to love it. You're going to throw all of your opponents off when you look into Chestnut and Froslass combo. Those two complement each other so well. Whatever Froslass loses to, Chestnut wins. So this is really big too when you are playing into these matchups, because if they only have a Froslass to mirror your Froslass or an Umbreon, then your Chestnut can come in and wall that Umbreon because it has that superpower. It has access to fighting move. Frenzy Plant too. Like, oh my goodness. these Pokemon, these two right here, kick off at a 582 on PV Poke and put in the work. Now, the next Pokemon I would suggest would be Samurott, coming in at 618, right? You got those rock, the Mega Horn for that dark typing. You got Fury Cutter too. You can put the Hydro Cannon pressure down. Wonderful Pokemon. But you know what they suggest also is Samurott and Froslass? Chestnut. So, those three are a great 1-2-3 punch line right there for you. And if no one on your team or on your opponent's side is rocking a Chestnut, you are at a great advantage here, and you can take that matchup real well. Definitely an easier matchup for you to get 2 wins there. Not saying that you can't lose, because you can't, because it always depends on how your opponent reads your teams and stuff like that. I'm just saying those 2 Pokemon there have the top metas covered, so it'll give you more coverage to play and comfortability for that in-game macro play. And you know I love that in-game macro play. So, PV Poke has it as a 100% swap in, right? Like we said, Froslass with energy can take the win. So, I suggest that you listen to PV Poke and maybe swap it in, but play as you will, because you can lead with Froslass with energy, swap out to an Umbreon, draw out whatever, and then farm it down, right? So if your opponent does have Chestnut, draw out the Chestnut with an Umbreon save swap, and then come back in with Froslass and farm it down. Great strategies here, as I'm about to do in my last game against my Factions teammate, Big Money, having some fun. If there's anybody you should be practicing with, it is your Factions teammates there. Everybody gets knowledge. We all learn what damages do. You feel comfortable to take more hits. There's not that pressure, but it's a great team synergy build. This is the one I am rocking Crunch. Will I be able to use it? I don't know. Let's find out as Avalanche gets me the shield. Not mad at Avalanche getting me the shield. I know a drill one's going to come. I'd have to shield it, so I'm going to get that extra energy on Barbaracle. Better to have had an Umbreon swap in, but we'll play this out. Barbaracle playing against that grass Pokemon. Now Barbaracle looks like a bug, but it's a water type, rock type Pokemon, so anything super effective. I had to throw just the nuke either to get the shield or do the damage, and like I said, draw out the grass, farm it down with Froslass. Mwah! So beautiful. Tapping away at that Ariados. Ariados, a great bug Pokemon. Again, good coverage against those dark typings. That water there. I'm going to try to debuff it, but not in time. I'm going to give up the shield because I don't want that non-debuffed Hydro Cannon to go off yet. My opponent still has a shield. Let's see what Lunge does. Almost half of its health, and the debuff happens. Oh my goodness. That's not enough. Is it the drill? I forgot the energy. No, it's an Icy Wind. Okay, phew. I am debuffed just a little bit, but now I have so much energy. This is a debuff Lunge. Remember, debuff regular Lunge did almost 50. This, not enough. It would have regularly done it, so that would have been the KO. But I'm going to get the second Lunge off, and now he's double debuffed. These Fury Cutters doing nothing. He's got to throw that Hydro Cannon. He's got no health. Will Powder's no be enough. Froslass is queen. She will haunt these catacombs all the way to the end of the cycle. GG's. Great practice there. Got great feels on Froslass. Again, as you saw, Froslass, even without Chestnut, can hold her own. That being said, thank you to my wonderful battling partner, Big Money, for the practice, because we always love those faction practice, and now you understand. Hopefully this battle has helped you understand a little more why Froslass is core and why she should be the queen on your meta team this Catacombs Cup. This will help you get points for your team if that is what the goal is, right? And always you can swap out, even have that Crunch and play around with her too. Remember, factions metas swap in between weeks, so you can play with Froslass. You don't have to play with Froslass, but core Froslass is key in this meta. So good luck out there, battlers, as you are having fun this Season 2 of Cycle 4 of Silph Factions. Watching this run of the meta, Be sure to hit like on the video, follow if you love what we're doing, and subscribe if you want to keep up to date with what's going down below. Do be sure to let me know down below the comments of what you're enjoying of this meta, as we are having some fun. And also be sure to check out our community leaders, as we have Roundtable Chat Shop, Beginner to Winner, Pallet Town PvP, and As the Pokeball Turn, Flash for Everyone community leaders, doing all they can to provide us better resources for our battling community. Thank you all for watching Poke Battle Network. I am Silph, and like always, enjoy your battles.